Welcome back, everyone, to the Bitcoin Business Bureau. I'm your host, as always, Litecoin Leader. Today, we're playing more ALTCOINopoly. We got another coin for you. It's a platform coin, which means it's in Zone 3. Many of you should know where that is already, but it's the top of the board, and we'll go over that in a moment. But this coin has been very much in the news in 2021. It's been around for several years. Its founder was with another top 10 coin many years ago, but now he's moved on to other projects, like many of the former team of that project. This coin has got its own platform. It's doing lots of things on its roadmap. It's starting to hit its dates, a little bit of misses here and there, but for the most part, it's on track to do big things, and many people expect big news and big waves from this coin. Which coin is it? Stay tuned. Just a quick reminder that nothing in this video is considered financial advice. I am not your financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Seek out your own advice and do your own diligence, do your own research. Starting with our blank slate once again of the ALTCOINopoly board, we have the 4 different zones. We have Zone 1 at the beginning of the board, Zone 2, 3, and 4. Today we're going to be focusing on a coin in Zone 3, which happens to be at the top of the board, which is where our platforms live. That's where the coins are that are predominantly blockchains unto themselves and afford the ability for other projects to build on top of them, basically creating their own crypto ecosystem. So the coin that we're going to focus on today is Cardano. Cardano, or otherwise known as ADA, gets its own space right here in the board near the center of Zone 3. Little anecdote about ADA, if you ever wondered why Cardano was called ADA or the ticker was ADA, it actually comes from Ada Lovelace, one of the very first mathematicians, female mathematicians. So they named the coin ticker based upon her. And that sort of seems to be the motif and style of Cardano and the team. They choose a lot of famous mathematicians, engineers, scientists for naming both parts of their roadmap and also the coin itself. So Cardano is the coin today. It gets its space onto the board. It's a pretty significant space. It's a significant platform, and we'll be talking about why we like it so much and why it deserves such a good spot on the board going forward. Cardano's got a lot of information behind it. As a platform, you could expect that. So starting with the website, you can just scroll through the website and see all the different things they have there from the team, the individuals, the discovering about Cardano and its journey, the roadmaps. It all started with Charles Hoskinson, and when he left Ethereum, he went on to form a new team that launched Cardano. And that Cardano had a roadmap of 5 different major pieces. That at first it was and these are all named for, again, artists or great thinkers. There's lots of reasons behind these names. These names weren't chosen at random. So first there was Byron, which was the foundation of the project. Then came Shelley, that just launched last year, did decentralized and started with more of the staking. And then Gauguin is next. So that's where we're launching towards smart contracts. Smart contracts are not available yet, but it's on the roadmap, and there's a lot of products that are being developed, assuming that they're going to be ready sometime the end of this year. And then comes Basho and Voltaire for scaling and governance. So we're about midway of the present roadmap for Cardano that it's building out the ecosystem that Charles envisioned. Here's a picture of the ecosystem itself. Let me walk through just a couple of the major areas. An AMM, that's an automated market maker. That's basically the engine that runs behind some of these DeFi and DEXs. So you can see a PolySwap, a lot of swap sites. So it's kind of like, think of a Uniswap, think of a Sushi Swap, or all the different swaps that are out there. Cardano is building pretty much their own system. So they're not using existing systems, but they're building their own. So you have liquidity for AMMs to do exchanges. You have IDOs, which is some startups. You have oracles. So rather than using Chainlink or using Band, they're going to use their own oracle. They're building all their stuff in-house and on their own platform. Instead of using the graph to query blockchains, they have their own query projects. You have NFTs that are coming online. That's their own projects. Payment options, insurance, synthetic assets, stable coins, and lending and borrowing. So they have a project called Catalyst I think they've done it 3 venture rounds where they sponsored different projects and put forth capital so that teams could build new projects, and they became part of this ecosystem. So all that formulated the existence in Cardano of all these different projects. All these projects will be running on the Cardano system. And then going forward, also as part of the roadmap, you have the ability not just for smart contracts and NFTs, but you also have the ability to port over other projects from other platforms. You have they're making a translator that you can take an ERC20 coin or an Ethereum coin and move it over to the Cardano blockchain. So that they're forwarding. This is why Cardano is considered to be a competitor, strong competitor, and possibly an Ethereum killer. So it's running neck and neck with Ethereum. The longer that Ethereum has issues in getting to their second release, the more that Cardano is likely to challenge them for market share and even to bring projects over from a crowded network on Ethereum over to them. So where did I gather a lot of this information from? There's a couple of different sites, but again, I went through a lot of YouTubers, a lot of influencers, and I went through a lot of different videos that they have. I'll link them all again as usual. Coin Bureau does a great job as usual going over Cardano. He talks about it a lot. I didn't go over to Dan for Crypto Capital Ventures, but I will include a link to him as well. He talks a lot about Cardano. If you're going to look for videos on Cardano, I would say Coin Bureau is number 1, and they had 3 good videos there about Cardano. So Guy pointed out that there's a strong correlation between Cardano and the Turkish lira on some exchanges. If you look at the exchanges that are out there for Cardano, the Turkish lira exchange is pretty high for the usage on Cardano. The reason there is the way he connected the dots was that Turkey's lira is experiencing a lot of inflation, while as Cardano is positioned uniquely that it could be a currency for some countries. So that is a possibility. Charles Hoskinson has not rolled that out, so there's a possibility that could be an adoption path going forward. In addition, Cardano is working a lot in the area of Africa, and they even have africa.cardano.org to talk about their involvement in countries there to help them not only with adoption and banking the unbanked, but also putting Cardano out there as a forefront as a big possibility for a strong use case across the continent. So also on videos, I would recommend probably one of the leaders in the clubhouse on comments is this guy right here. That is Crypto Crow. This is a video that he appeared on with Celsius Network and Charles Hoskinson. And Crypto Crow talks a ton about Cardano, at least a video a month, if not more. He's a big proponent of the project, as is Dan. So this is Dan from Crypto Capital Ventures. He's a very good technical analysis person, but he also brings a lot of news and a lot of level-headedness to the space. He's a big proponent of both Bitcoin and Cardano and Litecoin. Does great technical analysis on all 3 charts, but Cardano, he puts a lot of good information out there. So I would say Dan is probably 3rd. Number 1 is obviously for general information is Coin Bureau, and then Crypto Crow would be my number 2 source for all things Cardano. All 3 guys bring a lot to the table, but there's so much information out there already in Cardano, tons of information, so much to like about this platform going forward. As long as they hit their roadmap within reason, they have a strong upside, and especially if Ethereum struggles, Cardano could be capturing a lot more of the market and have even more room to grow in the next bull cycle for cryptocurrency. Here we go once again looking at Cardano against both Bitcoin and against the US dollar with 2 charts. Here's the all-time chart, or as far back as I could find on Bittrex. On the monthly chart, you can see that at one point Cardano was 9,000 plus sats, and it's currently in the 4,000 range. So it's about half of its all-time high against Bitcoin. But against the US dollar, it hit an all-time high earlier this year. I think it was in May. So there was a lot of positivity for this coin. There was a long time for this coin was just lagging in the 10 to 20 cent range. And then things really started to pick up with Shelly, which is release 2, and then Geigen, the 3rd release. And there's incremental releases within that release. So like they were hitting their milestones. The roadmap was starting to be hit, and they were getting their things done. So as things started to evolve for Cardano, more and more attention got onto the project, which led to more adoption. It led to more volume in the coin, and more price appreciation. So it moved up into the 30-cent range, and all of a sudden it started to really ramp up into the between 50 cents and $1. And once it got to $1, it bounced around $1 for quite a while, and then it took off in the spring of this year to hit an all-time high somewhere around 2-ish, I think, is based on this chart. And then since then it's trickled down a lot. It's trickled down more in the $1.50 range. But that's a healthy pullback. If you look at the Fibonacci retrace right here, going back to late January, early February, when it was about 35-40 cents, that run up to the $2 and change level, that retraced back about 50%. So that is a healthy retrace in technical analysis. So using the extension of that for Fibonacci, it says normally 1.6 to 2.6 is where it's going to head next. So that puts Cardano as a target of between $3 and $4 based on the way I read the charts. So that is that's more than a double from where it's at. A double from 150 to 3 would take it to the blue line. So that would be a double, and a double would put it comparable to where it used to be against Bitcoin, but I would assume that the entire market would go up. So Cardano wouldn't double against Bitcoin because Bitcoin would also be going up. But for all intents and purposes, Cardano looks to be on the upswing soon based on this chart. And the next bull run, it could easily hit the $3 to $4 range. And I've heard different targets as much as $10 by end of the year. Not financial advice. Obviously, we can't predict the future. But the charts are telling us between $3 and $4 on the next run-up seems to make a lot of sense. And that's the coin for today. It's Cardano, ADA. It's got a prominent space on zone 3 right next to the commuter space. I won't say which one that was, but they are neighbors for a reason. And I think you'll know why, because of Charles Hoskinson's association with that neighboring project. It's a good project. Both of them are good projects, but Cardano is a very good project. It's highly rated. I'll share my rating in just a moment. But it's looking pretty good going forward, and it's got a lot of positive expectations. Plenty more to come from it. So let's take a look at the rating, and then I'll come back to wrap up. Going back to the board once again, we are talking about Zone 3 in the platforms, and the coin today is Cardano, so that's where it goes once again. And a quick review of the coin rating system, which is relatively new, just launched last week. Here's the 5 different metrics that we have, from all the way from 1 to 5, with the highest rating being the Red Hotel. And what is the rating we're going to give Cardano for today? What am I giving it? What is the number I'm putting on it? What is the ranking? Cardano's got a lot going for it. It's got a few things that are just a little bit of a shortfall. All in all, I give Cardano a very strong ecosystem, a good statement of where the project is at today. It's not quite fully developed, so my rating on the coin is going to be a 4 out of 5. And I would give it a 5 if the smart contracts were ready and the platform was a little bit more evolved and there were more projects that were building it and they had NFTs all ready to go. I think an answer between 3 and 5 is the right number. You could say 3.5, 4.5, but 4 is a good solid 4 here for Cardano, which gives it a very high ranking for of all the coins that are on the board. So that's the ranking for today for Cardano. Do with that as you please when you make your own decisions, not financial advice. But that is the ranking I put it on, and the rating I give it 4 out of 5. So Cardano has a solid rating, 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5 houses, I'll call it. And it's a solid project. It's just short of being perfect. I don't think it's hard to give any project a perfect score. It pretty much is. It's just a relative score, but it's a very good project. It's got a lot going for it. The price looks good where it's at on the charts. It looks good short term and long term. Lots of positive news. Lots of things going for it. You got smart contracts coming. You got the ecosystem growing. You have NFTs coming. You have plenty of projects being developed on it. And we also have the roadmap emerging. And what else? Oh, staking too. Staking is now available for it, and lots of coins are staked already. So you can hold your Cardano, you can get rewards in Cardano, and Cardano can actually become the ecosystem. And yeah, you can also have Ethereum projects moving over to it too. So there's so much to like about the space that Cardano is in, how it's emerging. Charles Hoskinson's vision of what Ethereum should have been is probably what Cardano roadmap very much looks like. So it's a prominent coin. It's another platform. It's a way to play several hundred coins all at once by owning just one coin. So Lots of information today. I like the project. That's my own personal opinion, not financial advice, but take that for what it's worth. And with all that said, I'm going to close the drawer in the bureau, and I'll see you next time.